I'm in the mood to make smashburgers. Massage all of this. I don't want it too greasy, so I'm not using a lot of oil. Okay, yeah, this tastes really good. Hi guys, happy Friday. It is 11 a.m. I've been up very early because I went to drop my car off to get serviced, and we're gonna do a day in my life. I was rushing this morning, so I didn't record anything. There wasn't anything eventful. Went to the supermarket because I'm in the mood to make smashburgers. I've been cooking quite a lot all week. What I'm gonna start doing on this channel is just creating food content videos. I love to cook. I made the decision. I'm gonna do vlogs because I love doing vlogs. I love, if I'm doing something, just showing you guys a little bit of like my beauty, my gardening, my home, like doing little things. But the core of what I love to do, which is pretty prevalent in all of my vlogs, is cooking. I love to cook, and I think it would be more useful if I made videos focused on a specific recipe, because I've been doing this for like so long. I've always done blog posts with recipes and reels with recipes and like showing you guys my cooking. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna make videos here on YouTube showing you guys just a visual representation of me doing the actual cooking, and then coupling it with a blog post or just having the recipe in the description. I'm still figuring out what I want to do, but I'm gonna do it. And today I'm gonna show you guys how I make a smashburger. I'm craving a smashburger, and I looked up the recipe of how I love Shake Shack. I looked up the recipe for how Shake Shack makes their like burger aioli, which is very simple. So we're gonna do that today. I'm gonna start prepping everything, and I'm gonna show you guys how I make smashburger because your girl is hungry. I'm gonna use tomatoes from my garden, so we're gonna go pick that together and harvest the tomatoes together. But yeah, we're just gonna have a little day in the kitchen. But yeah, let me go charge this camera and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, so we're gonna get started. We're going in with our ground beef. I got organic meat. Always try to get organic meat, and this is why I love my supermarket, because their store brand carries a whole organic line, which is certified organic, and we love that. I'm not doing anything groundbreaking, but I will have a recipe up for this so that you guys can follow along. But all I'm going to do is add 1 egg. So this is a pound of meat. We're gonna add 1 egg, and then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. I'm gonna see if a 1/4 cup is enough. I think that should be enough. 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. And we're just gonna season our meat like we season any of our meat. So whatever you use to season your meat, that's what you're gonna put onto this. So I'm using paprika. That's probably like a 1/4 teaspoon. Some garlic powder. That's probably like a 1/4 to a 1/2 teaspoon. I say a 1/4. We got some Lawry's. I use this seasoning salt, so I'm not gonna add any salt right now. We're gonna add some Italian seasoning, which is just a blend of different herbs like rosemary, basil, thyme, oregano, sage, all the good stuff. Then we're gonna add a little bit of black pepper. And that is all I'm putting onto the meat. So make sure your hands are clean, because we're gonna go in and we're gonna massage all of this and combine it all. The difference with the smashburger is the patties are supposed to be really flat. So, you know, I usually will make like a circular thick patty for, you know, like most burgers are, but smashburgers are supposed to be really flat and thin. And you can add, like, you could create a double. I'm thinking that I want to do like a double situation. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I just had a craving for a burger today, so that is what we are going to listen to our body and make. So as you can see, everything's combined. It's nice and solid. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to make it very pretty. I'm just going to make it circular as possible, but the goal is when you put this on the pot, we're going to make sure that we're keeping it as flat as possible. You see, like, you don't want it to be very thick. You want to make sure it's a very flat patty. So I'm going to make a couple of these so that we have some for dinner later today, for my daughter and my husband. And yeah, you're really just going to make sure it's really thin like this. So I'm just going to make a few of these, and it doesn't have to be pretty. It could just be like an irregular circle. But you also want it to be a bit big. You want it to be a little larger than the bun because this is going to shrink. So if you make it as flat and wide as possible, it's going to shrink. So the flatter and wider, the better, because it will fill up your bun as much as possible. So when you go to like Smashburger or like Shake Shack, this is how it is. So we're going to channel them today. So let me go do this, and I will check back in once I'm done. Got my cutting board that is specifically for my meats, because if you don't know, you should be using separate cutting boards for your meats and like your veggies and stuff. So I'm just making it nice and flat. So put that over here. I think I'll be able to make like 4 of these. Okay. But this smells really good. It's so seasoned, and yeah, I just know it's going to be delicious. So this is how you do it. You just smash it as flat as possible, and then the most important thing is when you put it on the pot, we are going to make sure we press down as much as possible and keep it flat. Okay, while we wait for the oil to heat up, we're going to harvest the tomato that we're going to use on our smash burgers. So these are definitely ready, so we're going to cut them. Okay. And we're going to bring this in. And this is what we're using. Okay, the oil is heating up, and I'm using grapeseed oil for this process. All right, we're going in with our first patty. I'm not using a lot of oil. I don't want it too greasy, so I'm not using a lot of oil. You see, I'm just trying to flatten this out as much as I can from the very beginning. Now we're gonna flip it without splashing. Ooh. Looks really nice. I'm definitely gonna have to cut this in half, but that's good. So I will technically be getting my double. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to just make one for now and save the other 3 patties for later, and we'll cook those for dinner. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll freeze them in the meantime and then take them out like an hour before so that we can actually fry them fresh. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. That is the plan. Yeah, I think that's a better idea. Okay, so we're gonna put this over here to drain. Voila. And now we're gonna make the Shake Shack aioli at home. I personally like tasting the meat. Just I want to make sure it's cooked. Yeah, it's fully cooked. Let me taste it. Yep. Tastes perfect. So now, I'm going to turn off the stove and we're going to go make our aioli. So with these, before we make the aioli, I'm just going to pop them on some parchment paper so that I can preserve them for later. I'm just going to cover like that. I'm going to do it like an accordion. I'm going to pop this here. fold it over, fold this over, pop the next one on top, and then just gonna wrap it up like this. Now we're just gonna fold this, fold this. This is not the prettiest, but it gets the job done. And we're going to put it in the freezer until we need it later. The main base of this is mayo, so we're using a half a cup of mayonnaise. I'm pretty much just eyeballing this a bit. That's like a quarter cup. Use a half a cup. That's about a half a cup. Tablespoon of Dijon mustard. That's about right. Tablespoon of ketchup. That's about right. Then we need dill pickle brine, which we have because I might not have shared this on the channel, but I made my own pickles recently. So we're gonna use a teaspoon of that brine. Here's the batch of pickles that I made. So I'm gonna use just a little bit of this brine to add to this mixture. That should be good. I think that was a little too much, but it should be all right. Then we're gonna use some cayenne pepper. It's asking for 1/8 of a teaspoon, so nothing too much. That should be good. And then some salt and pepper, so just a little dash of salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. And now we're gonna mix it. Just gonna like pedal this. I'm gonna taste it and see if I like it. Oh yeah, this tastes really good. I'm gonna add paprika. Just a little bit. That's like it's probably like 1/8 of a teaspoon. And that's gonna be that'll be my little flair to make the recipe my own. Because I love paprika. Alright, let me taste it. Yeah, this is great. And you definitely taste the pickle brine. Wow. All right, so we have our aioli. I'm gonna cover this up. So now we're gonna melt the cheese on the patty and toast up our potato buns. Let's cut up our tomato. Just gonna cut the butt and just gonna add 2 thin slices to my burger.